So the official teaser for Hogwarts Legacy was released like a month ago, and with typical TurfNation fashion, I'm way too late to the party. And everyone has already moved on with their lives, so no one will give an active shit about this video. But who the fuck cares? I want to talk about this game, because ever since I was a young boy, I have loved the Harry Potter franchise with a passion. I used to beg to God that I could be a wizard. I spent so many afternoons running around the forest with a stick in my hand, which is something I still do, but it's just much less legal now, and a lot more concerning. I always prayed for the perfect Harry Potter game. Now, I know that we have Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire, the masterpiece, but other games such as Wizards Unite and Hogwarts Mystery failed on several levels. They were incredibly dull and lifeless, and they relied on microtransactions to make up for their boring gameplay. But now we have a chance for liberty. Now we have a chance for a great video game within the wizarding world. Hogwarts Legacy is our last hope, and I think it could be truly great. It's already done so many things right, like for example keeping J.K. Rowling far away from the production, which is a good thing because she's completely lost it. I know my name may say otherwise, but don't let that fool you. I don't agree with what she's doing. However, despite a lot of promising information that we've been given so far, we still need to be cautious because they could end up messing up a lot of important aspects, which act as the dividers between this game failing or succeeding. Therefore, today I wanted to highlight 10 things that I believe are necessary for Hogwarts Legacy to get right. Now, this list isn't ranked, it's not a top 10, it's just my opinion on 10 things that this game needs to do right in order for it to be great. Naturally, our opinions may differ, so feel free to leave your own list of things you want out of this game down in the comments, and any other thoughts you have about the game. Anyways, let's just get right into it. So the first thing I want in Hogwarts Legacy is a vast open world. Now I know this is already promised, it's kind of a given since the game is being marketed as an open world game. However, I want the world in this game to be greater than what we've seen before. This is next gen after all. I want to be blown away. We already know the graphics are going to be gorgeous, so just give us some meaning to all the aesthetics. There should be very few limits on where one can wander to. We should be allowed to explore every single corner of Hogwarts, from the secret hallways to the forests surrounding it. I want to be able to go to Hogsmeade, to Diagon Alley, just roam around London and wreak fucking havoc. The good thing is that based on the trailer, it kinda seems like this will be the case, but that's literally a must. If a small skilled Minecraft map creating team can do this, then a AAA game should be able to do it too. However, more than just locations, I want there to be secrets scattered around the map, Easter eggs and interactive bits. I want myths and legends that we can discover for ourselves. It was always one of my favorite aspects of games like Assassin's Creed Odyssey and GTA 5 even. I want there to be tons of unique side quests that range from fun little activities to well-written short stories, so that the game is never truly over since there's so much to explore. I just want a good open world that gives the wizarding world justice. Think of The Witcher 3 just Harry Potter. Now within this vast open world, the second thing I want is for it to be littered with unique enemies. Now J.K. Rowling's world is known for the sheer creativity of so many of the creatures. Hell, there's even a whole book detailing the different varieties of life within the wizarding world. So yes, aesthetically this won't be a problem. However, I want them to be unique in the gameplay. The trailer shows us enemies like trolls, dragons, dementors, what look like inferi, and even other humans, so that's wonderful, but if they don't each have unique and complex fighting styles that each provide a different challenge, then the game can end up feeling stale and repetitive. If each enemy can just either hit you directly or by a long-range attack and then simply differ from each other based on size, then that would be boring. Make it so that we have to be creative. Dragons have incredibly hard skin, so normal attacks won't work. Maybe we have to find weak spots. Trolls are incredibly strong but dumb and clumsy, so give them highly destructive powers that really damage us, but have them be easier to outsmart. Just make the enemies we encounter feel special and different from each other. Now our next point, which will actually help the previous point of more unique battles, is an in-depth combat system. Now I know this is difficult. Magic just on its own will be hard to make interesting and new. I mean, I don't know how to do it, but I'm also not a game designer, so it's not my job to figure it out. I don't know, I just feel like a combat system like the Arkham games or Spider-Man PS4 would be perfect, just fitted to be Magic of course. I just want a combat system that feels fresh and exciting. I want plenty of spells that each have something unique about them. It wouldn't be fun to have multiple different spells that do the exact same thing, or a handful of basic ones. If you're attacked by a group of enemies, you should be able to Wingardium Leviosa one of them, Petrificus Totalis the other, so that you only have to duel one of them. Or if you want to just go all out assault, then Bombarda Maxima their ass. But also be careful for your own safety. I just want us to have the freedom to play the way we each want to play. This sends me into my next point of allowing the player to choose their own playstyle. Now they've shown us that beast taming and potion making will be included in the game, but please don't limit these to just being accessories to the regular old dueling. Don't get me wrong, dueling will probably be very fun, but I also want people to have more choice in what kind of wizard or witch they want to be. Do you want to focus your time in becoming a potion master and use little concoctions such as invisibility or a liquid luck to give you the edge over your enemies? And do you want to be able to choose this even if you haven't given too much attention to your dueling skills? Or if you want to abandon our wand and use assault rifles instead, then let us do that. Alright, maybe not the last one, but you get the idea. This game would just be lovely if we had flexibility in our playstyle. Essentially, just make it a good RPG system. Something that would also greatly help the RPG aspect of this game is an in-depth character customization. Now, character customization is revealed to be a part of this game already, but I want it done right. None of this stale-ass 5-option hairstyle system, none of this preset outfits kind of thing. No, I want full freedom to make my very own unique character in the magical world. One that looks exactly like me, or one that doesn't for those who want an escape from themselves. Give us so many outfit options that Rachel Green would feel overwhelmed. It doesn't all have to be given to us from the beginning. Let a lot of it be unlockables that we find or earn during our adventures. Just by God, please don't let anything be purchasable through microtransactions. Leave this game alone. It will sell itself. Trust me. Just give us great physical customization. However, also give us personality customization. This doesn't mean let us click stubborn, happy, boisterous like in The Sims. No, none of that. Instead, let us choose our own personalities through the dialogue of the game. Let our choices dictate who we are. Maybe there can even be an opening mission or quest that has enough twists and turns to really test our personalities. This could even help us be sorted into our house. That'd be fun. Of course, the game should still give us the opportunity to override the game selection and choose our own house, because otherwise people will riot in the streets. But yes, good character customization is necessary. The next thing that Hogwarts Legacy has to do well is its story. I want a thorough and detailed main storyline, with plenty of side quests as well as multiple possible endings. But we'll get to that in just a bit. I want some proper story writers to write the story, not just game designers. We all want this game to feel real. We want to feel like we're a part of this universe. It doesn't have to be an end of the world type story, which it has kind of already been revealed to be, but I'd be happy with just something meaningful that brings out certain emotions in us. That being said, I don't want this game to be a kids game. The Harry Potter generation has grown up, and although new kids get into it all the time, the core fandom still consists of late teens or adults. We want a mature story. It doesn't have to be rated R, kids can still enjoy it, but the story needs to be mature and engage our own morality. If this is just a let's beat the bad guy type of story, then I will cry. However, beyond just the main story, I want other storylines. We've talked about side quests, but it would also be interesting to have a sort of faction system, or just separate long-term campaigns. For example, a Quidditch arc, or a post-game career arc, or a specific club at Hogwarts arc. I would just love to be able to play this game for hundreds of hours and still feel like there's something for me to do. This next point relates very much to the last one. I want to have choices. I'm not talking about character customization or having the choice of your own playing style. That's a given in an RPG, and I've already talked about that. No, I'm talking about having at least a little bit of an effect on the story. If our actions and choices throughout the storylines affect the outcome of the story, then I'd be so happy. Think games like Until Dawn or Detroit Become Human, where there are multiple ways the story can end based on the accumulation of choices throughout the game. If some quests aren't available post-game depending on the choices you've made throughout the story, then that would even allow for replayability. I'm fine with that. Make your story dynamic and people won't get bored. If we choose to be an asshole, then let that show. Unlike in Fallout 4, for example, despite everything that game actually does get right, because even if we murder innocent people and take their children, Nick Valentine will still help us find our child. Just give us, the player, a little bit of influence on the story, and let there be consequences for our decisions. Alright, my next couple of points are very short. The first one being to add Quidditch. If we have a decent Quidditch game mode in this game, then you can take all my money. Next, the music also needs to bang. Harry Potter has some truly iconic soundtracks, so to give this game a magical feeling, provide some stellar music. From the trailer, I can tell that the game is already on the right track. The final thing I want from this game is a very important one. Let our character be trans. That'll show her. No, the final aspect that I want from Hogwarts Legacy is interesting characters. The trailer gave us a look at some possible characters that show a lot of promise, from Hogwarts teachers to friends, to a conflicted evil man perhaps? Again, this requires a competent story writer, but it should be doable. Please just try your best to give us some memorable, unique, and complex characters and performances. That's all I ask. Anyways, those were 10 things that I think Hogwarts Legacy needs to do right in order to succeed. Of course, they probably can't do all of these, but we can hope for the best. But what do you want out of this game? What are your hopes for Hogwarts Legacy? Tell me down in the comments. I'd love to hear your opinions. Anyways, leave a like if you enjoyed the video and subscribe for future content. Join my Discord and follow me on Twitter, links are in the comments. Anyways, I hope you all had a wonderful day, stay safe and peace out.